I just had a birthday. I just turned 44. Appreciate it. America just had a motherfucking birthday too, so 250 years and shit. And I got a couple gifts, got some gift cards and things of that nature. Now America, they got some gifts too, but the motherfuckers, you know, they actually took everything basically and shit. They got some stolen land, you know what I mean? They got some people, they got a shit ton of motherfucking money. And one thing too, just working out on the subject of that shit, right? So I did a 14 mile on my birthday, like tomorrow's a run day too, so in a place that I basically actually ran to, it wasn't quite like the Harriet McTubman, the underground. It was around the Obama Center. So on the south side of Chicago, I actually checked that shit out. And it was actually pretty nice. But my whole gripe with that shit is it kind of looked like a motherfucking albatross. If you see it, it looked like motherfuckers can literally climb on that shit like Spider-Man. Anybody seen that shit on the south side? Literally, that shit looked kind of mad ugly. Now the park itself is nice because it's behind the Museum of Science and Industry, and that's a nice place. I actually, fun fact, got my dick sucked behind the Museum of Science and Industry. So for you freaks out there with that like shit, spinning them out, and did all that kind of nasty shit. So she never had done that shit in person. So that shit was pretty motherfucking interesting. And then just speaking about Obama and shit, I think this is my whole gripe with him, right, basically and shit, because technically he kind of like a motherfucking Tubman. And he basically didn't do anything for black folks, because if I actually had a son, he would look like Trayvon Martin, and I would actually put in the anti-black crime hate bill, right? Basically, we wouldn't have that situation that actually happened down there with the young brother. What's his name down there in Texas? That's locked up, Karmelo, right? You know what I mean? So he basically had to go up against so many cannibalistic humanoid underground dwellers that actually like to make motherfucking buildings. So basically, baby chilled the builders and shit. You know what I mean? And because he didn't have a complexion for the protection and shit, I know you mentioned about, you know, being white for one day, he would actually have that shit. Genetic immunity against the law. And then we had a young brother, and we know black folks know how to swim, right? Y'all remember the fade in the water, right? Down in Montgomery, y'all saw the young brother, he hopped in that motherfucker, outdid Aquaman. So you can't say black folks don't know how to motherfucking swim, so how you actually end up motherfucking dead. So it's fascinating. And I gotta talk about the situation with Shane's son, basically, and shit, you know what I mean? Killing the black kid, you know, Cyrus, I forgot his last name and shit, but basically, the only place where you can actually go to get some kung pao chicken, get your motherfucking nails done, and get some weaves is a spot in the motherfucking hood. So make that shit make motherfucking sense. Didn't steal the water, and then they talking about black folks talking about this shit, right? Now here's something that's actually pretty fucking fascinating. They said like kung flu. It was actually kung flu. That was Donnie Cheeto motherfucking ass saying that shit, right? That wasn't us. What did he say? He said, it's the Chinese virus. It came from Wuhan, but we actually have the Wu-Tang working on it. We got the RZA, the Jizza, oh dirty bastard, you got expected that Ghostface Killer, the Master Killer, the MATHOD, man. Mad different methods. So I thought that shit was just hilarious the way they try to do motherfucking black folks. So, and yeah, that shit's a permanent motherfucking redistribution of our wealth and shit. Ain't nobody got to spend that motherfucking money with them folks. And it was something else too. That was funny.